Well, my fellow agents, as most of you know by now, the big news story of the day is the fact that the Division 3 has been confirmed, and trust me, we will be talking about that a lot in the upcoming weeks and months. However, we do have the Golden Bullet Global event live right now. It is the perfect time to farm, so I wanted to highlight one of my favorite builds really quick. Now, if you happen to be new here, feel free to hit that subscribe or join button. If you enjoyed this, you could hit that like button as well. And we are having a giveaway for an Xbox Series S. We're giving away 2, and all you need to do to enter is either subscribe here or follow on Twitter, and the winners will be announced October 1st of this year. Now, the gameplay footage you are going to see in this video, my friends, is going to be a little bit different. You can see on screen right now as I'm playing, the Golden Bullet is active. You are absolutely ripping through everything. However, one question many of you send the channel when I put together a build around an event is how does it actually work when the event is not active? So in the second half of the video, I will be showing you some gameplay footage with the event turned off. That way you can see how truly effective this build is, regardless of when you're actually using it. Now, as always, we are going to start with a specialization. And you can see I'm using Gunner. And the main reason for that is because with this version of the build, I am using the Banshee Pulse, and this is the only specialization that allows you to use that. You do get a couple other perks as well, and always remember, regardless of which one you choose, always make sure you have the proper weapons activated in your weapon skill tree. That way, no matter which one you are using, you're always getting that 15% weapon damage bonus. Now, as far as my primary goes, it should be no surprise, I'm using St. Elmo's engine, and in my opinion, this is the best exotic assault rifle in the game, not only because of its talent, where shooting an enemy with this weapon will give you 1 stack. At 100 stacks, the next magazine will be filled with shock ammo. But when you look at the mods, you see you're getting 20% crit hit damage, 30 extra rounds, 20% weapon handling, 20% crit hit chance as well. Combine all that stuff and this thing is an absolute monster. My secondary weapon for this build is the Dark Winter SMG. However, you can really put any weapon here that you want to, something you enjoy using obviously, and for those of you that are still trying to get this, now is the perfect time to farm for this thing, because remember, when the global event is active, you're going to gain a star for not only completing certain challenges, but you'll get one for every shade level you gain as well. And you can then use those stars at the global event vendor, buy a named cache, and hopefully get this thing. Now, as far as the gear goes, you can see I'm running 4 Negotiators, 1 Grupo, and the Coyote's mask, which you see on screen right now. And as you've heard me say in previous videos, this exotic is a must-have for your inventory, and the reason it's so effective is because of its talent pack instincts, where you and all your allies gain a bonus based on the distance of the last enemy you hit. You can see the bonuses below that, and at the end of the video I will give you a quick breakdown of how to make a determination on your crit hit chance and crit hit damage. Next we have the body armor, and that is the one piece of Grupo we have equipped that is going to give us a 15% crit hit damage bonus. You can see I'm stacking crit hit chance and crit hit damage everywhere I can, and I'm using the talent Obliterate, where critical hits increase total weapon damage by 1% for 5 seconds. It stacks up to 25 times. Now, for those of you that would like a little more survivability, you can easily run Unbreakable as well, because remember, in this global event, if an NPC forms that Golden Bullet, they can hit you pretty damn hard, so some of you may want that extra survivability. Now we make our way to the holster, the knee pads, the gloves, and the backpack, which as you can see are the 4 pieces of the Negotiators gear set, running all 4 so we get all of the gear set bonuses. 2 pieces 15% crit hit chance, 3 pieces 20% crit hit damage, and 4 pieces hostile negotiations. And with that talent, critical hit marks enemies for 20 seconds, up to 3 marks total. When you critically hit a marked enemy, all other marked enemies take 60% of the damage dealt. And in addition to that, whenever a marked enemy dies, you're going to gain 2% crit hit damage, stacking up to 20 times. And once again, on all of these pieces, I'm trying to stack crit hit chance and crit hit damage everywhere I can. Now, as we make our way to the backpack, you do have a lot of different options here. You can use the Memento, you could use the Ninja Bike, switch everything up, but for this version, I'm using the Negotiators bag, because with that, you get the talent Critical Measures, which increases hostile negotiations damage to marked enemies from 60% to 100%, which obviously is a very significant increase. Now, when it comes to the skills for this build, I'm choosing to use the Banshee Pulse, like I mentioned before, and their Crusader Shield, just in case things get sideways with this event going on. However, feel free to put any 2 skills here you want. It is totally up to you, my fellow agents. And at this point, as I mentioned earlier, I want to talk about how Coyote's mask works. Now, as you can see, the crit hit chance and crit hit damage bonus you may receive is going to be completely and totally dependent on the distance of the last enemy you hit, so you always want to make sure you take into consideration how you typically play this game. So for me right now, you can see I'm sitting at 57% crit hit chance. Remember, the max is 60 and 195.5 crit hit damage. Now, the reason my crit hit chance is so high is because when I run with this build solo, I'm usually hitting enemies within that 0 to 15 meter range, which means I am getting that extra crit hit damage, but I'm not getting any extra crit hit chance. Now, one thing I strongly recommend is hitting up the firing range, hitting that 15 meter mark. That is going to lock those targets at 15 meters. That way you can see what NPCs actually look like at that distance. And at that point, you can truly make that determination and tweak your numbers here and there. When I look at this distance, I know typically when I play, I'm within that 15 meter range. So I know having 57% crit hit chance as my base is perfect for me. One final thing I'd like to mention really quick, and this is for those of you out there who are just getting used to this gear set, you do not want to focus fire. The entire point is to tag a few enemies and you focus on one and rinse and repeat that pattern. Again, fellow agents, use the tools at your disposal. Make sure you hit up the shooting range, go to this area right here, try it out. And as always, if you have any questions or comments, please let me know and I will do my best to get back to you as quick as I can. Most of you know by now that one of my favorite aspects about putting these build videos together is the family that we have here at the channel. So if you happen to have any tips or tricks you want to pass along to new and returning players, please let me know, as the main goal is to help out as many people as we can. That is going to do it for this video, my friends. Now, if you missed my news video this morning, I will leave a link to it in the video description down below. Make sure you check it out. And then tomorrow morning, I will be posting another video answering a lot of the questions you have sent me over the last day. There's no way I can do it manually as far as just typing back, so I'm just going to put a video together. So if you have any questions about the Division 3 or the future of the Division 2, please feel free to let me know in the comments section of that video. I will do my best to answer them as best as I can. That is going to do it for this thing. I sincerely appreciate the privilege of your time, and as I mention at the end of every one of these, if you happen to be new here, feel free to hit that subscribe or join button. If you enjoyed this, you could hit that like button as well, but most importantly, take care of yourselves, be kind to each other, and we will talk to you soon. Thanks again, everyone.
Go on and head back up. The team from the campus has taken position inside the memorial.